Hello students, I'm Tripti and we are continuing our lesson number 5, Cell, the fundamental unit of life. In previous parts we had studied about the cell, its discoveries, the timeline and cell theory. And here we are talking about the types of organisms like unicellular and multicellular. You see some examples here. They are the example of unicellular organism like Euglena, Paramecium and yeast. They are the examples of unicellular organisms. Organisms are classified as unicellular and multicellular on the basis of number of cells present. If only one cell is present and that one cell, the single cell, is performing all the life processes like nutrition, respiration, excretion, reproduction, all the life processes are done by the single cell, then the organism is termed as unicellular organism. Right? If we talk about multicellular organism, then the organisms which are made up of more than one cell, they are called as multicellular organism. And we see that in multicellular organisms, division of labor is present as we find in plants, animals and of course the fungi. They are the examples of multicellular organisms. If we see the multicellular organisms under the microscope, we would find many cells, right? This is showing one cell. If we see a leaf cell under the microscope, we would find this is a single cell which I have outlined and many cells are present here, right? In the same way, if we find any muscle cell under the microscope, we would see many cells. So, these cells, the organisms which are made up of more than one cells, they appear like this under the microscope. Now come to the size of cells. If we talk about the size of cells, the cells vary in size, right? They might be very small and they might be very large. They can be microscopic or macroscopic. Microscopic means for that we require a microscope, and macroscopic means which we can see from the naked eyes, right? So the cells can be vary in size. Most of the cells are very small. Most of the cells are very small in size. For that we require microscope. And some cells are large enough that we can see with our naked eyes. If we measure the size of the cells, we use the unit of micrometer, right? So if we talk about the smallest cell, then mycoplasma is the smallest cell and its size is approximately 0.1 micrometer. If we talk about the largest cell, the largest cell is the ostrich egg, which size is 18 centimeter. So in this way, we know that the cells vary in size. They are very small. They can be seen with the naked eyes also. And most of the cells require microscope to see. Here we see human cells, right? Here this is the sperm cell. This is the sperm cell. Its size is 5 micrometer. If we talk about ovum cell, its size is 120 micrometer. And if we talk about the longest cell, longest human cell, this is the nerve cell and its size is approximately 1 meter. If we talk about the shapes of cells, again the cells vary in shapes and the variation depends mainly upon the function of the cell. What function they are performing, right? They vary in shape, they have a particular function so that they can perform their function very efficiently. Some cells like euglena and amoeba can change their shape, but most cells have a fixed shape. If we talk about human RBCs, they are biconcave. Biconcave means because these RBCs do not have a nucleus, because of the lacking of the nucleus, they are biconcave. And this is very essential because they need to be passed through the narrow capillaries. If they would not be biconcave, they cannot pass through the narrow capillaries easily. If we talk about the nerve cells, it is also very special in its shape, as it has a star-shaped body which is branched, right? It is branched to conduct impulses from one point to another. They are like cable, okay? And if we talk about human WBCs, they also can change their shape, like amoeba. Why do they do so? They do so to engulf the microorganism that enter the body. So in this way, the cells vary in their shapes.